So we're a week away from 2019. This time next week, it'll be the new year. And in addition to all the resolutions about eating better, going to the gym, all that kind of stuff, a lot of people at least should make some money goals for the new year, whether spending less or saving more. And if you're one of them, well, you come to the right place, because this morning we're going to help you out. We have some ideas to set yourself up for financial success in 2019. Financial professional Tavon Jackson from First Financial Security joins us with 5 things to do before the clock strikes 12 on New Year's Eve. Good morning. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You got your book out with you as well.
Yes, sir. 40 acres and some dividends.
There you go. I like that. Okay, first up, the last story before we came to you was about the guy putting a $5 bet in Vegas and winning $1 million. That is not recommended, right?
Not recommended at all.
That's not the 5 that we're talking about right there. What should we be doing here as we have 1 week left in the year to get ready for next year?
Well, the first thing that we should do is that we have to prepare for tax season. And with the new tax law, the standard deduction has now gone up from $12,000 to $24,000. So what that means is less people are going to be itemizing this year, and more people are actually going to be taking the standard deduction. So if you do plan on itemizing, you want to make sure that you keep all your receipts together, and also that you decide whether if you want to do the taxes yourself or you're going to hire a CPA to do it for you. The next tip is that you actually can write off losses in your investment portfolio by selling stocks and mutual funds before the end of the year. So you'll look at your stocks, look at your mutual funds, see which ones are actually down and in the red. And if you were to sell them, you actually can write that loss off right before the tax season.
Against some other gains that you might have. Let me ask you this question on that topic, though, because a lot of people are concerned about the market activity right now.
Sure.
And, you know, there's 2 schools of thought here, but I hear from a lot of people saying, oh, the market's going down, I better get out. Other people say, if you have a 401k, this is a great time to maybe step up or increase your contribution over time because you're buying in at a cheaper price. What do you think about that?
I recommend that most people buy low. So any other industry, when things go on sale, what do? We buy it. But when the stock market goes on sale, we want to get out of it. But from a tax perspective, if it's the end of the year and we've lost money on an investment, you saw a lot of people get into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, right, and maybe they put $1,000 in there and now it's 25 cents. Maybe you can sell that by the end of the year, get a tax write-off, and make up some of those losses.
All right, that makes good sense. Okay, date night now. We're not talking about going out to a nice fancy restaurant here.
Yes,
I mean, you could if you want to have the conversation there, but it's really about getting your affairs in order.
Yeah, so 2 years ago in my practice, I started a financial date night with my clients, and I recommend that every month they have a date and they talk about money. So the reason we do this is because financial stress can cause a lot of damage in a relationship and also divorce. So the way you do it is that you have to put it on your calendar, you and your spouse. You have to make sure you leave the kids at home on this financial date night, because we love our kids, but we know that they can be distracting. And also you want to make sure you dress up, go to a nice restaurant, and you're talking about money during this date. So some of the topics you can talk about is, 1, you can ask your spouse, well, what are some financial purchases that you would like to make this month? Or maybe you'll say, hey, 1 kid goes to private school, 1 kid goes to public school. What's the pros and cons of doing that? And then also talk to your spouse about their financial goals and what they're trying to do. Maybe 1 person's an entrepreneur, 1 person's working a 9-to-5 job. So you need to determine when they want to retire together.
And look at the bright side is that if you can figure out on this date how you can save some money, then you don't worry about getting the nice fancy steak or whatever you're out to dinner for, right?
Yep, and the great thing is that with my clients, on their first financial date night that we host, I'm actually the third wheel. So I actually teach my clients how to do a proper financial date night, so in the future they would no longer need me.
Not bad advice. Okay, this gets a little confusing for some when it comes to, when we talked about IRAs before.
Sure.
The Roth IRA, and when it comes to conversions,
yes,
is there a good time to do that?
Well, here's my opinion on it. So a Roth conversion is you converting a traditional IRA into a Roth IRA. And the reason you're doing that is that you would rather pay the taxes now versus paying the taxes later when you don't know what they might be. So here's a scenario for you. Let's say you went to the bank and you got a loan for $10,000. And then you ask the bank, well, how much interest do I have to pay you back? And the bank says, well, we'll tell you when you retire. We don't know. That's similar to what you're doing in your 401k and in your IRA. We don't know what the tax rate might be in the future, and we don't know who might be president in the future, so we don't know what changes may happen. So the reason why people do these Roth conversions is because they pay the taxes now while they know what the taxes are, they know what their tax bracket are, and then it'll be tax-free for them for the rest of their life.
And if somebody wants to do that now, and obviously they should consult their own tax professional or financial professional, is there an income limitation or anything like that for a conversion?
Not for a conversion, but the reason why people do it is that most people can't contribute to a Roth IRA because they make too much. So if you file single and you make over $130,000, there's no way you can contribute to a Roth. And if you're married, if you make over $200,000, you cannot contribute to a Roth. So most of your income that you're going to get in retirement is taxable. So a lot of people are converting the IRAs into a Roth IRA so that they can get some tax-free income mixed into there as well.
And while those incomes sound like a lot of money in the D.C. area, there are a lot of people that are making that amount of money. So it's important to know when it comes to the conversions. Okay, finally, when it comes to IRAs, max them out, you say.
Max them out. So this is the perfect time. So by the end of the year, you have to know the limits to all your plans. So with the 401k, the new limit is $18,500. It was $18,000. And if you're over 50, you get what's called a catch-up contribution, so you can actually add more. So the limit is $24,500. And if you contribute to an IRA or a Roth IRA, the limit is $5,500, and if you're over 50, it's $6,500. So make sure you break that down. Make sure you see if your plan has a matching. So if you put in 3%, maybe they put 3% in there for you. And that's the best way to do it. Just break it down monthly, determine how much you can do each pay period, and max it out.
Well, and that was my question, Tavon, because we talked a lot about things that people like high earners need to be aware of.
Sure.
But there are a lot of people that maybe they don't have the investments at this point, or maybe they say, hey, with the market down 20% now, or whatever it may be, maybe this is the time that I get in. So for people who are not in that six-figure income category, what do you recommend as far as getting started, whether it be how much do I initially put into a 401k if I'm getting in for the first time?
Well, my recommendation is to start small and determine how much you can do each month. And if you invest monthly, it takes the emotion out of investing. So what happens is, let's say you put $100 in a month. When the market's down, guess what? That $100 is going to buy you more of that stock. If the market's up, you're going to get less of that stock, but you're going to make money.
Right.
So it kind of benefits you either way if you systematically do it each month.
Don't try to guess and time things out.
Yeah, because you can get in at the high, similar to the cryptocurrency and things like that, and it can go crashing.
And you're going to lose more.
Crashing down, yes,
You're
sir.
going to lose more. Just keep it even. Keep it balanced. Thanks, Tavon. Appreciate
Thank you so much for having me.
Your book available?
Yes, 40 Acres and Some Dividends. It's on my website. I am Tay Jackson, and my company is First Financial Security. We offer free consultations, and you can find me on I am Tay Jackson and book your appointment there.
All right.
All right.
Local guy from
Thank you so
Maryland.
much.
Good to see you. Holly,
Thank you
we'll send
so
it over
much.
to you.